On behalf of our entire family, I'd like to thank you all for being here to help honor and celebrate the life of George Cushing. I especially want to give our gratitude to the United States Navy, Illinois State Police, the Illinois Patriot Guard, Chaplain Kevin Copeland, and Al Lindsay for your moving words. I especially want to thank Butch Exton. If he's here in the crowd, I hope he's still here. American Legion Post 635 and Honor Guard. He single-handedly helped us ensure that Dad got the military valor that he so deserved, so that we could come in here and then throw a good old party for him. Being a Cushing, it means something special. Yes. Our family crest, it bears the motto, Virtute et Numine, which literally translates into grit and grace. And if you look on the back of your koozie, even if it doesn't fit your drink appropriately, I hope everyone got one, you'll find it right here. Dad embodied this perfectly, showing us that true strength comes from not being hard all the time, but from knowing when to be tough, when to stand firm, and how discipline and love can coexist. Mom and Dad raised us right here in this countryside, and we had an idyllic childhood. Games of red light, green light, sweet corn by the pool, hunting for mushrooms in the woods. All of this taught us life's rhythms. And perhaps, just possibly, he'd have to chase me around McLean County after curfew. Because let's be honest, I was the wild child. But I'm fairly certain that the I just heard some shout outs on that. I'm fairly certain that the apple didn't fall far from the tree. The notorious game feeds, which I'm certain almost every single one of you here tonight has been to. Can I see a show of hands? Yes. You guys actually showed all of us kids how it was done. So technically, I can blame my antics on you adults. But here's the thing that Dad knew that the rest of the world didn't. My sister, that one over there, the one with the angelic face, was the secret deviant who was actually worse than me. Now, while I was getting caught red-handed, she was the mastermind operating in the shadows, and Dad saw right through both of us, and he managed to love us, not despite of our mischief, but because of the spirit that it revealed. This was his grace in action, understanding that sometimes the best lessons in life come wrapped in laughter, adventure, and of course, a shit ton of groundings. He taught us that rules mattered, but love mattered more, and that the little rebellion just meant that we had the Cushing fire in our bellies, the very grit that runs in our family's veins. For over 56 years, he showed us what devotion looked like through his unwavering love for our mother. And theirs wasn't just a marriage, it was a masterclass in partnership, in choosing each other every single day. He used to tell us, be sure he loves you more than you love him. But anyone who watched them together knew this wasn't possible. They loved each other with equal measure, with the kind of fierce tenderness that becomes the foundation with which entire families are built. Their love had the grit to weather every storm together and the grace to find joy in the quiet moments. And this love will continue into eternity. Dad was our biggest champion, but he refused to commiserate. And when life knocked us down, and it did a lot, he wouldn't sit in the mud with us feeling sorry for ourselves. Instead, he'd extend that strong hand and say one of his famous one-liners, or Papa-isms as we call it, and you'll see them framed on all the tables, and there weren't even enough tables to fill. There's more Papa-isms in the world out there than what we have on the tables, but those are his one-liners. Pick yourself up by your bootstraps and dust yourself off. This was the grit speaking, and the belief that we could overcome anything. He believed in us, even when we didn't believe in ourselves, especially when we didn't believe in ourselves. And that was his grace, the gentle strength that carried us when our own faith failed. Family was everything to him, from my mom and my sister and me to his beloved grandchildren. He poured his whole heart into each of us. He didn't just love us, he delighted in us. He celebrated our victories as if they were our own. He showed us that true family strength comes from both the grit to persevere and the grace to forgive and to support and to celebrate each other unconditionally. But perhaps the most beautiful gift Dad gave us was his promise that love doesn't end. If you need me, he'd say, look up to the night sky and find Orion. I'll be there. And tonight, as we look up to those stars, if we could see them, We know he's keeping that promise. He's there in every lesson he taught us, every laugh he shared with us, and every moment he chose to love us with everything that he had. That's the grit of the unbreakable bond of the Cushing family and the grace of our eternal love for one another. So tonight, we don't just mourn the man we've lost. We celebrate the incredible legacy that he left behind. So please raise your shot glass high. It's a cowboy boot. It's Miller Lite, Dad's favorite. Here's to Pappy, Papa, Jorgito, Captain Cushing, George. Here's to the truth that while we may have lost the man, we will never lose all that he gave us. Cheers, Dad. Happy heavenly birthday. We love you. Salute.